So a lot of the tenant's animals are apparently missing, but I want to get into the tenant's dogs because the tenant's dogs are now gone. Last week while I was in Maui, this was one of the issues that I had to deal with. We were getting ready to go on a day trip on something called the Road to Hana. If you know anything about this road, it is highly treacherous. There's over 600 dead curves, 51 one-lane bridges, extremely dangerous. You're basically in the middle of the jungle. So reception is spotty at best. I got a message in the morning right as we're leaving from a neighbor saying that her and her son were out on a walk and the tenant's dogs were loose again. They brought the dogs back to their house. They messaged the tenant to come get them. And the tenant responds, "I can't come get my dogs. You'll have to drop them off to me." Of course, I messaged the tenant. I let her know, listen, you are on notice. I am aware that your dogs have gotten loose again. It's a violation of your lease. This has happened multiple times. You need to secure your pets and you need to go get your dogs. Again, reception is spotty. A few hours later, I get a message back from the tenant saying, "Those are not my dogs. No. Those must be another neighbor's dogs. They just happen to look exactly like mine. They just happen to be the exact same breed as mine." She does send me a photo of her dogs inside the house and says, "Look, my dogs are here." So I messaged the neighbor. I let her know, hey, the tenant is saying those are not her dogs. You're probably going to have to take those dogs to a shelter. And again, I'm on this road to Hana. So a few hours later, when I finally get reception again, the neighbor messages me back and says, "No, those are definitely her dogs. She had someone come pick them up from my house a few hours ago." So at this point, it's obvious. The tenant is just lying to me. Doesn't want me to know that her dogs are continuing to get out because it is a violation of her lease. This is when everything escalates. She starts going on the rampage with her neighbors, telling them that if they're messaging me about what's going on at her house, she's going to contact her attorney. She's claiming it's elder abuse, that she's disabled, and that it's harassment. Now the neighbors don't want to help her at all. And just like clockwork, the other night, I get a text message around 8 o'clock at night that her dogs are loose again. This time the neighbors did not pick up her dogs, but they did send her a text message and said, "Hey, we just saw your dogs loose around the neighborhood." Her response was, again, "Those are not my dogs. My dogs are in the garage. Those must be somebody else's dogs." The next morning, she sends a message out on the neighborhood group chat stating, "I looked in my garage. My dogs are not there. If you guys saw my dogs, why didn't you get my dogs?" And she's all pissed off at all the neighbors for not getting her dogs. I do hope that they find the dogs safe, but this is a very rural area. There are coyotes, there are mountains, there are hills, there are fast drivers, so who knows? Next, I'll get into the other missing animals.